Right, what's up? I'm Ayan, and this video is dedicated to Linux Mint. Here I will show you how to make a live USB for Linux Mint, how to install Linux Mint alongside Windows, and also how to clean install Linux Mint. So first of all, you have to go to this link and select an edition of Linux Mint. I am going with the most popular Cinnamon edition, which is technically similar to Windows. So let's select a server to download, hit save, and now Linux Mint is downloading. To make a bootable USB, I will be using a tool called WinToy, which is probably the best in my usage because I make a lot of USBs. I will provide this link in the description and you have to download it for yourself. If you're using Windows like I do, simply download the Windows version and save it. Now all we have to do is wait for the download to complete and then we can proceed. Okay, so now both of our WinToy and Linux Mint software are downloaded. Let's extract WinToy and make a bootable USB. Simply go there and open up WinToy to disk. Say yes to the prompts and now it is loaded. All we have to do is plug in my USB so it picks it up. Let's take a quick look at the settings. Nothing to change here, just keep it as it is. And now I am going to plug in my USB drive. Here we go. Let's refresh it and now USB is detected. I have already installed Ventoy on it, but if you are using it for the first time, simply just hit install. I have already installed it, so I can just hit update and it will not delete anything on my USB. It will actually keep everything perfectly intact, only upgrade the Ventoy software. But if you have not installed it, your data will be lost. So just say yes to the prompt. It might not ask you for say yes, but install and wait for the installation to complete. This is a one-time process. All you have to do is just install Ventoy once and you do not have to install again and again. You can just, if you get an update, simply update it and nothing will be deleted on the USB. Okay, now USB is done. Now I am going to send the ISO file to the USB drive and wait for the copying process to complete. This is how it works. This is the best way to do bootable USBs. Let me just speed up the process so you do not have to wait like I do. Okay, so the ISO image is now copied. Let's make sure it is there. Yep, the USB is now ready to boot. Now let's get to back to our target system. This is my uncle's laptop and he is using Windows, but I want him to use Linux Mint because Windows is very heavy. Let's plug in the USB and now I am going to restart his system. Let's just go ahead and restart the laptop. Well, now you'll see it is me with my uncle right here. Okay, now all you have to do is press F2 key to enter into the setup. This is the BIOS and here we need to find something called boot. Here this is the boot device priority and now for the boot option 1 we are going to select the SMI USB disk. Like this. Now this laptop will boot from USB. Let's just hit escape to get out of here. Save changes and reset. This will restart the system and now this laptop will boot into the USB drive and now we will be able to install Linux Mint. As you can see, this is the Ventoy interface. Simply press enter and boot into normal mode. This is how the interface looks like. Simply hit enter and this will start Linux Mint. Linux Mint is really cool because it gives you three options right from doing one thing. Yep, I had to speed up this process because it took a lot of time. Okay, here from now on, this is the live USB disk. You can check out Linux Mint right from there without having to install it onto your system. This is directly working from USB without installation. You can check it, use it however you want, test it. If you really like it, you can use it. This is the settings menu. You can check everything that you want before installing. So if you like it, which I really did, because this laptop is old and Windows is not working optimally, whatever the word for that is. Okay, so let's change some desktop backgrounds. Yep, we can do a lot of stuff here. This is actually very similar to Windows, but it is actually better than Windows, only if you are not gaming. For multitasking, this is good. So let's start installing onto the device. This is an option called Install Linux Mint. Simply open it up. This will take some time because my USB is kind of slow and this laptop USB port is very slow because this is a very old laptop, so your speed might be different. Now let's wait for the installer to load up. This is taking awkwardly long. Okay, here we have the installer. We need to select the language. I am going with the English language, which everyone's default language. Nothing going to change here, just continue as it is. Let's check for the keyboard layout. Okay, this is taking so long. Don't worry, once this is installed, it will work very smoothly. Also, make sure you check this box because this is what we have to use all this time. Check on install multimedia codecs because if you're using for personal use, you will have to use the multimedia codecs. There is no other way around, so check it. Okay, now we are given three options. You can either dual boot it with Windows, erase the disk to completely fresh install Linux Mint, or just do however the options you want. I am going with the erase disk, but if you want to use Windows 10 alongside with Linux Mint, you can select the first option. Here are some other custom options that if you want to use a separate partition for installation, but for me this is really not the ideal situation. You can either use the first option or the second option. I am going with the second option because this laptop is old and we are only going to be using Linux Mint. Let's head back and select the second option, which is to erase everything and clean install Linux Mint. I'm sorry for that. Erasing the disk and freshly installing Linux Mint. This hard disk is this is not a hard disk, this is an 128 GB SSD because hard disk no longer is the ideal choice. Hit continue and everything on this disk will be deleted and we will have the fresh clean install of Linux Mint. You see, this is very easy. Now all you have to do is wait for it to do its job. I'm just gonna speed it up so you don't have to wait. Oh, time zones. Yep, I am in Pakistan, so I am going with the Karachi's time zone. And here we have to select the full name of the user. Let me type in the name of my uncle, which is Muhammad Atif. Let's type, something like Atif Aslam. If you know, you know. Computer name is going to be, this username is going to be, I'm going with the easy ones, not having to, annoy my uncle. Going with all small letters, no capitals here. You can log in automatically. If you select to log in automatically, you don't have to enter the password when your laptop starts up, but I actually want log in automatically for my uncle, but not for people who use their laptops. So manual login is what I prefer for you to use. Do not go with the login automatically, which I am doing right now. Okay, once this is done, the rest is just have to wait. Now let me just speed up the process and let it do its job. Okay, so the installation is now complete. You can either continue testing using the live USB of Linux Mint, or just simply unplug the USB and hit restart now. Once you hit restart now, if you have chosen the first option, it will give you the option to choose from Linux Mint or Windows 10. But if you use the second option and erased everything, you will get this welcome screen of Linux Mint. Let's go, and you see there's a lot of things to learn. There is a driver manager to update and install drivers. There is a software manager to download and install software. And there is an update manager to update everything, including the software and all the apps that are installed. Anyway, that's been it. Thanks for watching.